Good morning! It is day 27 of December, and I'm currently working on my 8th day of Christmas. Maid is about this woman named Stephanie Land who got pregnant very young, ended up in a situation where she was with someone who had domestic violence, and her family kind of moved on with their lives and weren't really there to support her. She starts out in a shelter, she moves into temporary housing, but she's trying to get into a Section 8 housing, and during this time she's working in landscaping and really trying to find something to keep her and her young daughter fed. At this point, I'm really enjoying learning about her experience living in poverty, especially when you find yourself in situations you never would have expected to be in. She's gone through a lot of trauma, and of course she doesn't really have the support she needs to help her through that. The writing style is not, at this moment, my favorite. It's a little jumbled here and there, and she jumps from one topic to the other. So I'm enjoying the story, but I don't know how much I'm enjoying the writing style at the moment. It is Sunday, and we have never caught up on The Mandalorian, so we're doing Mandalorian, I'm reading, and also working on my Day 7 video because I haven't yet had a chance to edit that. So that's what my Sunday looks like. It's gonna be relaxing. I do have 2 essays I have to write for my application to the college here, but aside from that, I don't have anything serious I have to do. It's fantastic. I'm so happy right now. I should mention before I forget that one of the things I am enjoying about this book is that it is set in Washington, in areas that I can recognize. It is always fun to read books about areas that are really familiar to you. When I've read books about California, the Bay Area especially, since I spent so much of my life there, it's always very nostalgic. It makes you feel like kind of a connection to the person or the character writing the book because, you kind of have some common experiences at least, or you have common places that you've been to. So I want to show you something really cute that Mom got me for Christmas. So this is a bookmark. And look, it's a reticulating or whatever that you call that bookmark. But what's really cute about this is it has a timer and a clock on it because, Mom knows that I like to do reading sprints when I'm reading certain books. So you can set the timer, and then it also has a clock, so you always know what time it is. Such a fun bookish gift that she got me. So now I need to do some essay work, and I'm setting timers because otherwise I'm just not going to write these essays because I have zero desire to. Hi, it's day 28, and I'm about halfway through Maid. I'm close to halfway, not quite there, but I'm getting through it. It's still not my favorite nonfiction that I've read. I am enjoying her story, but I just don't think it's the best writing style for me. And I'm using my cute little reading sprint calculator. I also am making good progress on my essays, so don't worry, I'm being a good girl. And I wanted to do a little impromptu book haul because I got books for Christmas and I wanted to share them with you. First, I'm going to tell you about this book, The Lightning Thief, which I picked this up actually a little while ago. One of those little small libraries. I think I actually picked it up from that, or I got it at Habitat. I'm not sure. It's The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. It is part of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, and I have actually never read this series, so hopefully at some point I'll get to read this. And when I saw it, I was like, I do need to read that. So I picked it up, and it was either a quarter or it was in one of those little libraries, I'm not sure. Next, I want to talk about this book, which is pretty, isn't it? And I got this at Costco. And this actually has every single Jane Austen novel in it, which works out perfectly because I'm reading all of Jane Austen's books this year. And so this has Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, I don't know how you pronounce it, and Persuasion. So this was like $14, a pretty good price for such a pretty book. I think this is beautiful. And it was just one of those Costco books. They tend to have pretty decent prices, and I thought it was gorgeous, and it suited my need perfectly. So next, my mom went a little crazy getting me books because she knew that, I started this channel this year and that I've been enjoying books and wanting to read more. So she was like, perfect opportunity of Christmas to get me a whole bunch of books, and I'm super excited about it. The first one she got me was A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. And this is a book about a young woman named Lilla. She already has her whole summer planned out, and she already knows what she's supposed to be doing and excited about that when things get changed, and she ends up spending the summer in England. This small town is lacking that Miami flavor that she is used to having within her town, but she's trying to make the best of it, and she meets a guy. And it sounds really cute. It actually kind of sounds a lot like Anna and the French Kiss. So, except, you know, England versus France. Next, I picked up for myself Six of Crows, and you'll know this if you watched my Six of Crows video, which I'll link up here, and how much I loved this book. I loved it so much. I bought this online because I couldn't get a hold of it through the library, and I wanted to read the actual book. And I'm so happy with this. I actually sent this and Crooked Kingdom to a friend for Christmas. I plan on sending it to another friend for Christmas. Everybody should be reading this series. Because I loved it so much and I was raving about it so much, my mom got me Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. And I'm so excited about this. I don't know when I'm gonna read it. And that really makes me sad. Next is a really interesting one I've never heard of. It's called Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Silva. And this is a book that actually discusses Charles Dickens. I think it's fiction. Pretty sure it's fiction. It's discussing Charles Dickens and what made him write the Christmas Carol. So kind of like what's going on in his life and what made him write this famous Christmas work. So I'll be interested. I didn't do any research, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to be fiction or nonfiction. Probably fiction, but I'll do some more research before I end up picking it up for real. It's always fun to read something a little festive during the holidays, so I might end up waiting till next Christmas to read this, but you never know. It might pop up even sooner. Next, I got The Obamas. I loved Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I will post the video where I talk about how much I love this book, so that you can check out my review of Becoming. I listened to it on audiobook, but when I love a book, I really like to have a physical copy. So I got one, and I got Barack Obama's Promised Land. Also really excited to read, especially after reading Becoming, to get his perspective. And I know it's much different than her perspective, is what I've been hearing, but I like that. I like to hear the other part of the story. And based on what I found out about him in Michelle's book, I'm sure that this is going to be a lot more politics heavy and really talking about some of his goals and his plans, because he was a very focused person. He knew exactly what he wanted and he went for it, and that is incredible. So inspiring. They're so cute together. So then also, I have been talking about wanting to read Robin Hobb for a while now, and Mom knew that I would be starting that series in 2021, so she got me a couple of Robin Hobb books. I have Assassin's Quest and I have Ship of Magic. This is the third in the Farseer trilogy, so I should be reading this one in March. I think I'll be reading this one in March. And this is the first of the Ship of Magic series. So I'll probably be reading this in April. I'm not positive, but I think so. And I'm just so excited about reading Robin Hobb. I keep seeing other videos where people are like, Robin Hobb this, Robin Hobb that. And I want to be able to say the same thing too. So if I love this series as much as I think I'm going to love this series, I will continue this set and make sure that I get all of the actual books. Finally, I want to show you what I got my mom for Christmas, because they're books that will be in our house, so I probably will add them to my TBR as well. She is obsessed, or has been obsessed, and I've heard about this writer for a long time, with Rex Stout, who is a mystery writer, I think a British mystery writer. He started writing, I think, in the 30s, and his series about Nero Wolfe goes through the 70s, so he has a lot of books, I think like 22 Nero Wolfe books. And the nice thing about them is that it's all the same characters, and you don't really need to read them in order, kind of like with Sherlock Holmes. And she loves them so much that I got these dual book sets. Each book has 2 of the stories. There were 4 of them. I got her 4 of these, so that's 8 Nero Wolfe stories. She loves them so much that I'm sure that I will eventually read them, so I can find out what all the hype about Nero Wolfe is. So those were the books that I got for Christmas, and it was a very generous Christmas, if I must say so myself. I'm really excited about them. I can't wait to add them to my TBR and put them on my beautiful, newly organized shelving, and hopefully read them in 2021. Let me know in the comment section down below what books you got for Christmas. Did you get anything special, anything you were hoping for? And if you got any of the same books I do, let me know. We'll be book twins. Oh, I do need to point out that today I have a new subscriber named David, and he mentioned, which is true, and I didn't even think about this, that the actual Advent 12 days of Christmas go from Christmas Day through January 6th. So I'm wondering, should I extend my 12 Days of Christmas challenge through the actual period of Advent? You know I'm not gonna be able to get it all done by the 31st. I don't know, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below if you think that I should extend this series, because I do wanna get through all 12 books. And that would be really convenient. All right, so it is very late on, I guess technically it's December 29th because it's after midnight. But I just couldn't wait. I wanted to find out what my next book was because I have finished Maid by Stephanie Land. And I don't really know yet what I want to rate this book. For a good portion of this, my rating would have been a lot lower. I was a little underwhelmed by her writing style, and this book didn't feel very personal. I know that it was personal. It was her personal journey, her own personal experiences, the struggles that she was going through, but I was just having a hard time connecting with her. About halfway through, I felt like I was starting to see the sincerity in her writing and in her emotions, and I really started to actually see who she was. I feel for her. She has struggled a lot, and her family is horrible, and it definitely made me appreciate the fact that I have really amazing people in my life who are there for me no matter what. And how that's probably one of the most important things we can have in our life is people who care about us and are there for us no matter how bad things may get. I'm probably leaning between a 3 to a 3.5. I'm kind of in that range. This was good. I would have liked the sincerity she brought towards the end a lot more in the beginning. In the beginning, it just felt like she was describing a lot of things. She talked about the things she was upset about and the complaints she had and the frustration she had in doing the work that she was doing because she was grossed out by a lot of it. But I didn't really ever feel like I connected with her emotions and her feelings about her actual experiences until about halfway through. And then you really start to see her. And that's what I felt like I was missing through the first half of this book. But as it went on through the end, I really started enjoying it a lot more, and it was easier for me to keep reading and harder to put down. Ultimately, I did like this, and I feel like it's a good book to show you some of the struggles that people go through when they're forced into poverty and when they're dealing with lives where they cannot get ahead. There's just no way to get ahead. Even if they do receive all these government subsidies, it just keeps them to the point where they can make it to the next day. If you do ever get to a point where you can make a little bit more, save up a little bit money so maybe you could have a better future, then that extra money that you might be using to create a better future gets taken away from you because of accidents that happen or because funding gets pulled away because you've made a little bit extra. It's almost like there's absolutely no way to get ahead for people who struggle with this level of poverty. It was definitely eye-opening, and I appreciated this read. I just feel like the first half of it could have been a little more introspective, maybe. So I'm ready to start on number 9, and I'm excited to pick it. What is number 9 gonna be? It is 1 a.m. on the 29th of December, and I have like, what, 4 days left? Barely. So the interesting thing about number 9 is that none of these books are really short. In fact, a couple of them are pretty darn long, so we'll see how this goes. So on the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 Ladies Dancing. The first one that goes for the 9 prompt is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And this is an adult fantasy about a young girl named Alex. And Alex has had an incredibly rough life. She has had a tough upbringing. She got in with the wrong crowds. She was doing a lot of drugs, doing a lot of bad things. And then getting in with the wrong crowd, she ends up a final girl, meaning the only one who survived this multiple homicide. And she's in the hospital trying to recover from this when she gets this opportunity to completely fix her life by getting accepted into this elite university where everything, all the expenses would be paid for her. So then the question, of course, is at what cost and why is she getting this opportunity? I'm definitely interested to read this. This is a dark academia book, and I just finished Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, which I loved. There are a ton of trigger warnings in this for really horrible stuff, but I've heard great things about this and I am really interested in reading it. So fingers crossed I get this, although it is long. For the prompt ladies, the book that I have chosen is The #1 Ladies Detective Agency by Alexander McCall Smith. And this is a book about a woman named Precious in Botswana who starts a detective agency. And she starts getting new clients. She's trying to figure out where a missing husband is gone, trying to uncover a con artist, and do these different jobs. But the job that means the most to her and kind of gets her into trouble is she's trying to track down this 11-year-old boy who's gone missing. And so this is part of a series. I don't know if I will enjoy it well enough to continue on, but I'm willing to give it a try, and it has ladies in it. So the last book is another hefty book called The Sleepwalker's Guide to Dancing by Mira Jacob. And this is for 9 ladies dancing. This one is adult historical fiction, and it kind of follows this, I think he's a surgeon or some kind of doctor. Thomas is on a trip to India with his family, and something about the visit with his mother causes him to cut the trip short. And I think that the trip traumatized him or something. I don't know what happened, but 20 years later, he starts seeing ghosts of his dead relatives or something along those lines. And his daughter, who is a photographer, who's also struggling in her life at that time, she's trying to figure out what exactly is going on with her father. And I think her father might have some health issues he's kind of going through. But she's trying to uncover all this and learn more about the family past, or the secrets that her father must have found out 20 years prior in India. I'm not sure, but this sounds like a really interesting book, and I would be really excited to read it if it wasn't over 500 pages. So I'm partially wondering why I added this to the challenge, because it's huge. This is a huge book. But I am interested. It's on my TBR. I would be happy to read it if I ended up getting it. In fact, I might end up getting it, because that's just the way things work out, don't they? So we'll see. Sleepwalker's Guide to Dancing might be the one I end up with. Do I want the short one that isn't on my TBR? Or do I want one of the long ones that are on my TBR? All right, number 9. Oh, that one's falling right out of there. Oh, what am I gonna get? Here we go. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it is the longest one. Okay. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I can't wait to read this book. It's on my TBR. It's 512 pages, and it is The Sleepwalker's Guide to Dancing by Mira Jacob. Yeah, I guess that this challenge doesn't want me to get through it by the end of December. Well, I'm just going to enjoy it. That's what I'm going to do. And I can't wait to get started. I probably won't start it tonight. I hope you're enjoying this series. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And if you are, give this video a like and subscribe so you can see how long it takes me to get through this thing. If you've read Ninth House or the #1 Ladies Detective Agency, or if you've read A Sleepwalker's Guide to Dancing, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. I'm curious. I definitely have Ninth House on my TBR. I don't have the #1 Ladies Detective Agency on my TBR, so should I add that? Did you love it? And I guess it doesn't. I'm reading this, so I already have it added on there. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.